A wave of discussion in South Korea's entertainment world suddenly heats up when the names of two top idols, Jungkook and Cha Eunwoo, are dragged into a whirlpool of issues that are completely unexpected to the public. An issue that starts from pieces of unclear information on online forums, then enlarges like a snowball that rolls wildly out of control. It all started with an anonymous post claiming a mismatch in tax funds, attributed to a handsome male celebrity with the initials CEW. And as is often the case in the digital age, netizens moved faster than clarification, putting together pieces of speculation, theories, and assumptions as if they were assembling a puzzle of a national mystery. In a matter of hours, Cha Eunwoo's name was dragged to the top of the trending list, not because of a new drama, not because of a musical comeback, but because of allegations that have not been verified at all. In the midst of the whirlpool, one thing made the situation even hotter. The public was waiting to see if there was any reaction from the idol's circle of friends, especially from Jungkook, who is known to have a good professional relationship and has appeared on the same show several times as Eunwoo. But it is worth highlighting that from the very beginning, there was no official statement from the tax authorities. No legal documents were published, and there was no confirmation of any kind proving the allegations to be true. All there is digital noise, snippets of screenshots whose source is unclear, as well as wild narratives that develop faster than the facts. This is precisely where the story becomes interesting, because what is shown is not just celebrity gossip, but a portrait of how a person's reputation can be shaken by just a few sentences on the internet. As public pressure mounts, cameras, microphones, and millions of digital eyes await a moment. Someone from within the industry speaks up, and that moment came, unexpectedly, through Jungkook. Jungkook's appearance on a live broadcast originally intended to greet fans and discuss his latest music took a turn for the worse when the comments column was filled with questions about the issues that dragged on Eunwoo's name. At first he tried to focus on the initial topic, but his usually relaxed facial expression seemed more serious than usual. The few seconds of silence that seemed long made the fans even more tense. Then with a cautious tone, Jungkook finally spoke, not to justify accusations, nor to reveal secrets, but to touch on a side that is rarely highlighted: the psychological burden that comes with rumors. He says that living as a public figure means being ready to be judged, but there is a line between criticism and speculation that can hurt. Without mentioning the details of the case, he stressed that many things circulating on the internet do not always correspond to reality, and that the legal process, if it exists, has its own path. He also touched on how one can look tough on screen, but not necessarily okay behind the scenes. It wasn't long, but it was enough to change the mood. Instead of muddling, he actually invites the audience to refrain, do not immediately believe, and do not participate in spreading things that are not yet clear the truth. The public response was split. Some praised Jungkook for daring to show empathy amid the storm of rumors. Others judged him too cautious and did not give the expected answer. But maybe that's where the most important point is. Not all situations need thrills, not all gossip deserves a stage. On the other hand, Cha Eunwoo's agency finally released a short statement confirming that their artist is not currently involved in any tax violations and that they are considering legal steps against the spread of false information. The statement did not immediately stop speculation, but at least presented an official voice amid the frenzy of assumptions. What makes this story continue to grab attention is not just a matter of whether or not the allegations are true, but the dynamics behind the scenes of the entertainment industry. Idols live in a constant spotlight. Every move, stillness, or expression can be interpreted in various ways. Jungkook, who is usually known for his energetic performance and cheerful image, suddenly appears as a more reflective figure. Many fans felt the moment showed his mature side, how he chose his words carefully, as if aware that a single sentence could set off a new wave. In discussion forums, pieces of video of Jungkook's statement were dissected frame by frame. Some highlight the look in his eyes, the pause in his breathing, the tone of his voice. It is as if the public is looking for a hidden message between sentences that is actually already quite clear. Do not rush to judge. Ironically, the attempt to calm the situation actually became the subject of new analysis, prolonging the life of the topic in the timeline. Entertainment media also raised different points of view. Some focused on the impact of rumors on the mental health of artists, Some highlighted the ethics of journalism in the era of social media, and some discussed indirect solidarity between idols. Meanwhile, Cha Eunwoo himself chose to remain silent in the public space, at least temporarily. No live broadcasts, no personal clarification posts. This attitude triggers two reactions. Some consider it a wise move so as not to aggravate the situation. Others are even more curious. And that curiosity is what makes the story feel like a mystery novel without a final chapter. Every day new details appear, not in the form of legal facts, but pieces of reactions, gestures, and indirect statements of those around him. Less talked about, but slowly coming to the surface, is how issues like this affect people outside of the camera spotlight. Family, staff, close friends. In one of his old interviews that went viral, Eunwoo once said that the hardest thing about fame is seeing people around him get affected by rumors. The quote, although spoken in a different context, now feels relevant, as if it is an echo of the current situation. Jungkook also mentioned in his live broadcast that the most important support often comes from small circles, not from trending topics. The days passed, the intensity of the issue slowly decreased, shifted by other entertainment news that came after another. But the trail was left behind, a reminder of how quickly public opinion can form and how difficult it is to control once it has spread. Jungkook's brief statement remains circulating as a reshared clip, not because of the sensation, but because of his calm tone amid the noise. Many cited the moment as one example of how public figures can use their influence to defuse, not heat up. Ultimately, this story is not about a proven tax scandal, because until now there was no official evidence corroborating the allegations. This is a story about perception, about the speed of information, about the fine line between curiosity and invasion of privacy. And in the midst of all this, one question hangs, which keeps people abreast of developments. Will the public learn to wait for the facts before judging, or will this cycle be repeated again under a different name in the future? The answer doesn't exist yet, and perhaps that's precisely where the most honest ending is. A huge question mark left open, leaving anyone following this story to keep thinking about it long after the phone screen is turned off. At the point when some people think the story is over, another layer emerges that is quieter, deeper, and perhaps more enduring than its initial clamor. It is no longer about accusations that never gain an official foothold, nor about video snippets or brief statements that are analyzed endlessly, but about subtle changes in the way the public perceives figures that they have always considered to be only faces on the screen. Some fans are beginning to realize that there is a distance that has not been clearly visible so far, the distance between the image and the person. Over the years, Jungkook and Cha Eunwoo came in almost always curated versions. Bright stages, structured interviews, consistent smiles. But a storm of rumors, albeit unfounded, involuntarily reveals the fragile side of the system itself. Not because both show weakness in front of the camera, but because the public sees how easily a reputation built over the years can be shaken by something that is not even necessarily real. Behind the scenes, the Korean entertainment industry is known for very strict image management. Each statement is considered, each step is calculated. Therefore, the moment when Jungkook chose to speak, albeit briefly and without touching on details, felt different. Some observers refer to it as a small crack in the wall of formality, where human empathy appears without a long script. He does not offer a legal defense, does not position himself as a spokesman, but reminds that behind the hot topic being discussed, there are individuals who feel its real impact. The effects of that moment turned out to spread much further than expected. A number of entertainment agencies are reportedly starting to hold in-house educational sessions on the use of social media, not just for artists, but also for staff. The focus is not just on promotional strategies, but on how to deal with the wave of digital rumors, how to protect mental health, and how to respond without aggravating the situation. Although it has never been publicly linked to a specific case, the timing of its appearance has led many to suspect that the industry is learning from what just happened.